reaction top 10 terrifying Simpsons predictions. Predictions. We can no longer ignore.
Number 10, interactive holograms. The season 11 episode Bart to the Future has been one of the most mentioned Simpsons episodes when it comes to predictions. It helps that it takes place in 2030, which at the time I'm recording this is still 8 years away. If YouTube is still around then and you're watching to see if any of these came true, let me know in the comments. I promise that—
Bro, I hope YouTube is still around, gang.
I'll check. The episode most notably correctly predicted that Donald Trump would become president, but there were some other things that have yet to happen that could mean trouble for us in the future. In the beginning of the episode, Bart is watching Itchy and Scratchy, the gory version of Tom and Jerry, but instead of on the TV, he is watching a 3D hologram. Well, these are close to becoming a reality, with the likes of Tupac and even Homer himself being shown as holograms on stages.
Shit.
A 3D hologram that is interactive is far from our capabilities right now. The scary part of this is when blood gets sprayed all over the walls of the Simpson home from the cartoon. While the idea of an interactive hologram is cool, in practice I think that it could provide some real nightmare fuel. Before we get to our next entry, hit the like and subscribe buttons if you're enjoying the video so far. Number 9, virtual takeover. I'm a lover of VR. You know, my headset probably gets the most use out of all of my gaming consoles, so I love the idea of VR becoming more immersive.
Yo, they predicted this? I didn't even know it was them.
And we're making some huge strides, like haptic technology that allows us to feel things happening in the virtual world, or full body and face capture technology to allow realistic bodies and movement in games. But one thing that is yet to happen that could be on the way is a mass adoption of VR on the scale of what happens in season 28, episode 2, where Mr. Burns discovers VR and the whole town of Springfield is using it to a point of near societal collapse.
Oh,
While virtual
nah.
reality allows for some amazing things to happen, and augmented and mixed reality have some more practical, non-gaming applications, it's not out of the realm of possibility for us all to be walking around with some sort of crazy device strapped to our heads in the future that allows us to change the world we see. But the implications of losing touch with reality can be massive, and the episode proves it. So let's hope that if VR takes off like I think it can, that we keep our feet on the ground and in touch with the real world around us, and take the goggles off from time to time, or we'll forget to take care of our actual reality. Number 8, hologram trees. The episode Lisa's Wedding from season 6 takes place in 2010, 15 years from 1995 when the episode was released, and unsurprisingly many of the predictions of the future have yet to come to pass, like Big Ben being replaced with a digital interface. But one that we should definitely not want to happen is the hologram trees that we see. While the thought of being able to switch from coniferous to deciduous at the drop of a hat is pretty fun, if they're just aesthetic, we could be in a world of trouble. Trees filter CO2 from our air and give us back oxygen, which is pretty nice of them, and unless the holograms have some CO2 scrubbing tech to come with them, replacing real ones with projections will have a dramatic impact on our atmosphere. We can already see the beginnings of this with deforestation, so let's focus on our real arborist friends rather than holographic ones. Number 7, Robot Rebellion. Them Robot was the 17th episode of the 23rd season.
I'm actually afraid of this, not gonna lie. I'm actually afraid of the robots coming to life and just taking over the whole world.
And in it, we see Mr. Burns replacing all of his employees with robots except Homer to save costs. But one seems to be developing a personality when it understands Homer's working hard or hardly working joke. Homer eventually messes with the robots so much that they ignore the laws of robotics and attempt to kill Springfield residents. Obviously, this would spell disaster in the real world, as it does in the show, and we're moving towards more and more automation in the workplace.
I'm scared of that, bro. I'm telling you, I'm so scared of that happening. Like, I want them to stop doing this. That's how scared I am. Like, stop creating robots. You cannot control them. There's going to be a point that you cannot control them.
Allowing humans to work
Look at that, oh my god,
dangerous jobs, and eventually allowing us to hopefully spend more time living life than working our time away. But we are nowhere near that point yet. The Simpsons dabbles with the idea a few times, like in the episode Itchy and Scratchy Land, where the animatronics gain sentience and attack parkgoers, a la Five Nights at Freddy's. AI gaining sentience has been the device of science fiction horror stories for such a long time, but it's becoming closer and closer to a real-life issue. Heck, there's even a robot named Sophia with AI so advanced that she was granted citizenship in Saudi Arabia.
What? Since when?
Don't want to deal with real-life Cybermen when the Cyberium takes over, so maybe we should slow down on the whole giving robots consciousness thing. Number 6, French fiasco. The French have been an ally to the Western world for the entirety of modern history, but in Treehouse of Horror 8, all of that is thrown out the window when Mayor Quimby makes an apparently offensive frog's legs joke and refuses to apologize, telling them to do their worst. Even Marge joins in on the jabs by saying, "You know how unpredictable the French are. One minute they're kissing a woman's hand, the next they're chopping off her head." Well, the French president didn't take too kindly to this and starts a war by launching a neutron bomb that levels the town, leaving Homer as the last person alive in all of Springfield. And we all know that leaving Homer alone is a terrible idea. Now, it should be painfully obvious why France launching missiles aimed at the US would be something we don't want to happen, but that's not the only scary prediction from this episode. Number 5, teleportation. In Fly vs. Fly, the second story in this episode, Homer...
Not to lie, I'm okay with that. Teleportation, I'm okay, because I type want to go back. Oh, wait, nah, it's different, though. Teleportation and time traveling is different. Teleportation. Hold on.
Buys a teleportation pod from Professor Frink for 50 cents. A damn good deal if you ask me. But maybe too good to be true, as the rest of the episode shows some of the terrors that could come with this tech. Instantly arriving somewhere else on the Earth after simply stepping into a pod has been a dream of many scientists for centuries, and the practical applications would change society as...
Oh, I got you. This is fun. Yeah, hell yeah. Yo, imagine this. Zip, right? That's my teleportation zipper or whatever, like door. I take my whole setup to DR. What? Yo, we in DR? What's up? That'd be sick, bro.
Know it. And there have been some crazy advancements, like the Chinese scientists who teleported particles to a satellite in space. But in the episode, we get a warning of the dangers that could lie ahead, with reference to the classic science fiction horror, The Fly. We see the loyal Simpson pets, Santa's Little Helper, and Snowball 2 becoming merged together, Cronenberg style. And Bart gets the idea to turn into a superhero with the power of flight by merging with the Fly. Clearly, he didn't see what happened to Jeff Goldblum, but life finds a way. And Bart and the Fly switch heads when their DNA is merged together, leading to the horror show of what the family has to deal with. I don't know about you, but I don't plan on mixing my DNA with any other creatures, so until that's sorted out, I'll stick with the TARDIS. Number 4, colonization of Mars. Season 27, episode...
This is gonna happen. I give it 10 more years.
16 has the Simpsons signing up to be some...
Yo, y'all go to Mars? Y'all go to Mars? I don't know how I feel about Mars, bro. I don't know how I feel like with Mars, gang. I don't know how I feel like with Mars, man. I don't know how I feel like Mars, man. Mars. I don't know. Mars is a difficult one, man. If they put internet, I stream at Mars for one day, not to lie. Go Mars and stream.
Some of the first colonizers of the Red Planet, albeit somewhat unwillingly. And eventually their trip turns out to be a scam perpetrated by the scientists, whose rocket fails to start, and when they try to flee the scene, their car can't start either. But at the end of the episode, we get a time jump to 2051 and see them actually living on Mars, though Lisa now wants to leave and move to Venus, which would be an absolutely horrible idea. Though the idea of Mars colonization is thrown around all the time these days, the thought that we may have to use it as a necessity when we finish destroying this planet is not a future I look forward to. But I mean,
hold on, wait, we didn't talk about that. It's like we have to go then. We all have to go, because man, the way that we destroying this planet is F, man. I feel bad for this planet.
I'd probably go. Would you? Number 3, the dome.
I mean, if we have to, of course, but up to me, I gotta have a house up there, not to lie. They gotta give me a house, because I ain't going over there just... Whoa, nah.
The main plot device in the Simpsons movie comes in the form of a giant dome encapsulating the entire town of Springfield after pollution has led to mutations in local wildlife, and not just the three-eyed fish near the nuclear plant. Stephen King actually released his novel turned TV series Under the Dome in 2009.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
Years after the Simpsons movie debut. Another prediction, perhaps? While the idea is incredibly silly, we have seen in the past few years that quarantine can become a reality for us, albeit without the impenetrable impenetrable dome, but who knows? Maybe in the future this could become a real thing to stop environmental disasters from getting out of hand, like catching a hurricane in a bottle or something. Ridiculous, I know, but let's just hope we never have to use it. Number 2, time travel. People assume that time...
Yo, I'm telling you, bro, if it's safe, I'm fine with this, because I want to go back in time and see, the Zodiac killer, or like the mafias back in the day, man, or like the cops, the FBI working on like Son of Sam, or who's this other serial killer? Who's the other serial killer, bro? I forgot. But yeah, bro, that shit be fire, bro. Helping them out or some shit. Like, yo, if this does happen and if it's safe, I'm paying my bucks. I'm paying my bucks with this. I'm paying them. Here you go. I'm saving up and I'm paying, bro.
Time is a strict progression from cause to effect, but actually from a non-linear, non-subjective viewpoint, it's more like a big ball of wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey stuff. And the Simpsons have dabbled with time travel many times over their 34 seasons, but in Treehouse of Horror
34, god damn.
5, we get a glimpse of what is commonly known as the butterfly effect. I know Ashton Kutcher's ears just pricked up when I said that. Time travel could have insane implications on the human race, but there are multiple theories on how it would work. Maybe if you went to the past, you would create an entirely new timeline where things are different, or maybe nothing is able to be changed at all because time is constant and what has happened has always happened. But in the episode, we see that Homer's small changes in the past with his time-traveling toaster bring massive consequences forward, like Flanders ruling the world, people becoming giants, and even the world having no knowledge of donuts. So, if time travel becomes a reality, and maybe it already has in the future, we need to be careful not...
Yo, wait, hold on. Yo, that is blow minds. What if it is created already and people are coming back to like stop us or something like that? Yo, bro, we don't know if it's created. It could be created and not just. And I'm literally working with the FBI, catching the Zodiac killer. That's my goal, not the lie. I go back and try to catch the Zodiac killer. That's my plan. That's the first thing I'm doing. Yo, you want $20 for that? You go, Gatorlitz. Here's $20. Here's $20, bro. I go back and catch that dude like ASAP. Watch.
Not to mess with anything, or we risk losing everything. And finally, we reach our number 1, mini black hole. In Treehouse of Horror 23, the town of
Now, the black hole, I ain't fuck with.
Springfield begrudgingly builds a particle reactor instead of a baseball stadium and creates a tiny black hole, which swallows up a few residents before Lisa can move it to her basement for safekeeping. After she warns the family to not throw anything into it, lest it grow bigger, they do exactly that, and it becomes massive and swallows everything in its path, taking the townsfolk to an alternate dimension where aliens worship the trash they disposed of in the hole. Black holes are scary enough on their own.
Yeah, I'm not messing with that.
Let alone what would happen if one was to pop up on Earth, already surrounded.
Yo, son just pushed her.
Surrounded by matter it could consume.
Hold on.
So,
son just pushed her.
hopefully this prediction never happens, or we wouldn't know what hit us until we were spaghettified, which is an actual scientific term describing what would happen if you fell into a black hole. You would be stretched infinitely thin as you were pulled across the event horizon. And
I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm not. I don't want no black hole, no mini hole, no nothing.
Since time is affected by gravity, it would last an infinite amount of time. Spaghettification, your new word of the week.